The next area that we look at is our recreation and event management program. It's called that now. It used to be called community recreation and commercial recreation, kind of as a for-profit and a nonprofit. And now those have been combined. And so as you look at this program, one of the real interesting things, as Katie started this with, is what the heck does that mean? It's kind of like, what does human services mean? And so today we're going to spend a little time breaking that down. But in the recreation and event management major, or in the program, we have a major and a minor. A recreation and event management major has about 225 students in that program, and most of them take one of 16 pre-created minors that build a credential specifically for that form of the industry. So for example, if you're thinking, hey, I want to be a wedding planner, then having the ability to think about hospitality as your minor really helps you get there. On the flip side is the minor, and we have about 125 minors that are event management minors from 50 different majors on campus. Again, we have fashion and merchandise in our college. You might choose that as a major, but have an event management minor because you don't want to design the dresses, you want to run the fashion show. And so we really try to partner those things together to, again, build you a credential. The Center for Leisure Services is housed within our department. They help with not only the search for your internship, but also that placement. And we have 2 pre-internship classes that help with that. 1 2 semesters before that really start the search process, and then 1 at the very end, the semester before. That's a professional seminar that really helps you secure your portfolio materials, get your site organized, and kind of make the transition from student to professional. All of our classes, again, are hard skill based. We have an academic component in the classroom, but then we make you practically apply it. We have an event management class or a programming class, you have to run an event. You have a risk management class, you got to create a risk management program specifically for a client. And so as we talk about this breadth of our industries, as Katie has nicely put on the slide, the possibilities are endless. So I want to just give you a real brief overview of kind of what some of those look like. Lots of our students go into the sports and entertainment world. They work at multi-purpose facilities. If you think about, for example, Little Caesars Arena, they don't work for the Red Wings or the Pistons, they work for the arena. And so it could be a concert, it could be ice capades, it could be monster trucks, but it also could be the Red Wings or the Pistons. Concerts, extreme competitions are all part of that. And then on the flip side, and I think it was the slide before talking about youth sports, it's kind of traditionally where you look at that community rec piece, that you work in your recreation department in your community, running the daddy-daughter dances, running our youth sport activities like t-ball and soccer and softball and some of those things. Many of our new students, especially in the last 10 to 15 years, have went to nonprofits. And they're working for places like Big Brothers Big Sisters or Make-A-Wish or United Way, helping to put on fundraisers, reaching out in the community with community events, issue awareness things, both at the local and at the national level. The biggest growth area for us in our industry is meeting planning. When you look at conventions and trade shows and expos and conferences, it's a big booming industry, probably the greatest growth that we've seen, especially in the last 20 years. Many of our students then go work at the association or work at a special event company that plans these educational opportunities for that association out there. Flip that slide for us, thank you. College and university events could be student life related things, could be residence life, Greek life, alumni relations, admissions, all have activities that are event driven. And as you see all of these slides, you'll see that there's some ranges of salaries on there. These ranges are really starting salary to kind of the mid-range, the mid part of your career. But lots of our students not only get their hands wet while they're on campus doing these activities, but many of them work into an internship and then right into a job. One of the key parts of our internship is 65% of our interns get offered a job at their internship site. So not only do you have two-thirds of a year of a job on your resume, it also gives you the chance to really get into that job almost technically before you graduate. As we move to the bottom of this slide and think about festivals, the big festivals that we think about really are kind of music oriented right now with the Bonnaroos and the Faster Horses and some of those. But we also talk about festivals like the National Cherry Festival, comedy festivals, cultural festivals, Hamtramck and the Polish Festival. All of those have to be organized and executed, and many of our students choose to go that particular route. Community events, again, not just in our park and rec world that are putting on the sports or the youth sports activities, holiday celebrations and our cultural festivals. arts and craft shows, 4th of July parades, events and concerts that might happen in our local park systems are all run by communities, could be with our CVB, could be in a downtown development organization, and again, could be part of that community rec department also. Corporate events is kind of the sexy one right now, the flashy one, just because of all the really big corporations and some of the really cool events they do. But gala dinner activities that might be fundraisers, VIP client experiences, fundraising events, recognizing our sponsors, employee appreciation days are some of the really cool things that we see our students do. Lots of our alumni that come back and speak in our classes are working in the corporate event world. For example, one is her entire client is the IBM world, and they plan all of their educational opportunities. They have their conference in San Diego, 100,000 people at the conference, and they bring in cruise ships to actually house them in Coronado Bay, which is really, really cool from a corporate event standpoint. Next on our slide is camps. Again, kind of traditionally what you would think of, either a day camp after school or on weekends, but also residential, like you would be there for the summer. Could be after school programs. They could be a variety of different focuses. Could be sports, could be science, could be art, could be drama. Resort recreation are the big ones we think about when we think about Universal or Disney or Cedar Point. But we also think about our resort areas that might have golf courses, might have water parks, and they run the special events. They could be activities on the beach. They might do tourism activities in that local community, partnered with the resort that they're working at, and then the rental properties or the rental procedures that go on, not the properties, but things like jet skis and parasailing and those type of activities. Next on our slide, weddings has kind of been a big one, especially in the last 10 years. And they come in a variety of standpoints, which is interesting. You could be an independent contractor. There's where our student might become an entrepreneurship minor because they want to run their own wedding business. You might work at a special event company that does weddings in addition to other special events, or you might work at a venue like Castle Farms, and who does weddings and has 11 different spaces at that site that they might do it with. Also, again, in resorts, especially when we look at destination weddings. University recreation is not our department, but again, they get confused sometimes. This is talking about our student activity center, where we go and have intramural activities. Our sports clubs are housed, fitness programs. Again, a multi-purpose facility that has a variety of things to do in there. They also house, for example, when we do filming of graduation, that's the overflow area for people to sit for that. And so having the ability to work in a multi-purpose facility is pretty important. We're getting close here, I think, to the end. Community centers, again, in our community, very much partnered with our local park and rec departments, focused on teens and sports, music, arts, and fitness. And then our military recreation area is kind of a unique one. It's called MWR, which stands for Morale, Welfare, and Recreation. Sports activities, fitness activities, special events and celebration for our current military personnel, veterans, and their families. So they're living on a base, and civilian contractors come in and provide those recreation opportunities. So there's kind of a perspective of kind of the breadth of the industry when we look at recreation.